Hey YouTube, I'm back with another unboxing. This is the last one filmed, and I don't know what order these are going to go into, but this is the very end of the Cryx Necrofactorium stuff as of now. What do I mean by that is because as of now, I've featured at least a version of everything that's come out, either from these boxes or I've purchased individuals. I don't know if I'm going to record the individuals. I don't think I am because everything comes in these boxes. Like I have an extra unit of like biothralls on the way. I don't think you want to see me unbox just a box of biothralls that I got off the website when they're already in this box. It's literally the same thing. They just put that as an individual box. So again, we've got the artwork, and I love these artworks, these displays. I wish more of the stuff had that. Like if you do buy a box of Biothralls, I wish it came. I actually have the Battle Group box here from when I recorded that. I wish it came like this with a picture of the Biothralls instead of just the blank Steamforged Games box. Because I just recently got my living room, which I think I talked about. I might have shown pictures. No wait, I actually shot a video for that. My bad, I forgot about that. Um, and I use these boxes as display. Like I put them in the background of the army, like against the back of the bookshelves. So more artwork is obviously a plus for me. So as you can tell, the seal's already been broken because when I got the order, I wanted to check what it was, and I went through and I organized everything and kind of sharpied these white boxes. So we know the caster, and these are brute thralls, these are bile thralls. I realized that they both start with B and T, like, but I didn't realize that till after the fact. This one is empty. So this is the Lich and the Cavalry. It says one is broken. It is not broken. I've got the broken one replaced, so this is all good. Um, if you ever have an issue, Steamforged ticket system is amazing. Easy peasy. We'll start with this box because I don't know. I just randomly grabbed it first. And we'll go through this stuff. So uh, with this, the broken calf was this one. When I first got him. This is obviously not the broken guy. He snapped here and here, so the body was detached from the arms, and this tube here was completely broken into multiple small pieces. This one seems to have a lot more micro supports than the other one did, and I have a theory that even though I complain about those micro supports, I have a feeling that they help shipping stability, and if that's the case, then keep the micro supports. Like if I can get more pieces in, more of my models full pieced, micro supported up. I love the little ghost horse dudes with their little sights. I can't wait to play them and send them on magical journeys through tunnels. If you don't know what that is, you'll find out. uh, they look so cool though. This one, man, his mouth is just full of like the bigger supports. Come on. There we go. Like there's a whole blob of them in there. You're focusing on my hand and not the horsey's head. Can we get it over here maybe? There we go. It's just full of micro supports. So gonna have to be careful with my hobby knife as I go through there. The mouths are the hardest part to use your hobby knife and break supports off with, just because of the fact that you have a good chance if you're not being very careful with your hobby knife to cut off teeth. And that's annoying. You go through and I hate this. Whenever a base isn't set up properly, I always have to go through and like shave it and then smooth it. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of OCD. Here's our Litchi boy. I love this model. This model looks so cool. Just the armor, the stance, the head. And I was never a Cryx player. Like I owned 0 Cryx from back in the day that I purchased. I do have a lot of it right now of OG Cryx because at one of our tournaments a gentleman showed up and he's just like, "Hey, I don't play and I don't want this and it's rotting in my garage." And he just gave us a massive Khador army and a massive old Cryx army. I want to say Mark II, like there's not a lot of Mark III stuff in there, I don't think, but still it's a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go through it all, determine what it is, and maybe sell it on one of the groups and use that as prize support for our local meta. Use it to either buy stuff or, you know, pick up an army or pay somebody to do commission paint work for an army and sell a painted army, something like that. Either way, it's going to be used for that, I believe. We actually, on the Orlando Discord, not the Orlando, the Florida Discord, because it's not just Orlando. It's everybody all over. I did a little poll, and the community did it. It wasn't, even though I have it, it's not mine. So I don't want to be the one who decides what happens to it. I want it to be a community thing. So my friend Chris, when he opened his auxiliary pack, he says that these tubes back here broke on his, but it broke in a way which he was able to easily redo, which is cool. You know, it wasn't hard for him, and he's more of a novice when it comes to minis. There's tons of micro supports here and along through the tubing, and just the same normal complaint. Micro supports in the mouth, but those teeth don't look like they'll be injured on that mouth. Um, if you never fought against this unit, they are such a pain in the butt. Like, they don't look that imposing on paper. You just look at them and you go, oh, okay, that's cool. Until you have to deal with them. They're very toughish. Their stats are a little higher than you would think. 8 wounds, if I remember right. They've got really decent shooting, really decent melee with their chainsaws on the ends of their sprayers. They do corrosive damage, but they're immune to, well, not, they're resistant to corrosive. So if they hit themselves with their sprays, you roll 1 fewer dice. And then when they die, they explode. So this is one of those units that is, I think, a must-have. And you get it in the Aux box, and you might even want to buy a second one. I love the auxiliary box. Like, everything in it is just amazing. The only thing I would probably, I'm not sure I'm ever going to field is probably the brute thralls, which are in the next box. It's not that they're bad. They're decent at what they do, but it's more that it's hard to field them. Like, with all the options I have, it's hard to say, well, I want to run these brute thralls over this. Like, I would rather run most of the time regular thralls with a Scarlock to give shield guard than a unit of brute thralls. But that's just me. That's just my playstyle. If you have a way or a reason why you like the brute thralls, let me know. Put something down in the comments. Just be like, I like brute thralls because this one spoke to me in a dream, and I'll be like, you do you. That's great. They look cool. They look cool as heck, though. They got like the punchy gloves of Doom, power fists if you were playing another miniatures game that's extremely popular. They've got all the cables. They've got that, Bane-esque feeling. You only adopted the darkness. I was crafted by it type shit going on. They've got the smokestacks. Like, this screams quintessential Warmachine, but they're just there's other stuff I'd rather take than them, and that makes me sad. If I could find a way to take them, maybe if they were cheaper or I don't know, did something unique that other stuff didn't, then I might take them over that. They're just so cool. Even if they're not a meta model or you don't see them played a lot, they're just so cool. I love them so much. I just wish they were better. Do better, Brute Thralls, do better. And then we have our caster, who is probably my second favorite caster. My first favorite caster so far is Nicane. I love Nicane. Nicane is my favorite caster. I've done so many goofy assassinations with Nicane. Decethys, which is our two-part boy right here, is my second favorite caster. This is the bottom half, the chainmail. Oh my god, I don't know if that's coming across the camera properly. Let me see if I can get it to... It is so fine. It looks so good, and the texture, the texture's crazy. I don't think I've ever felt something like that before. And then he's got the little soul vials. He's got a ton of those. Those are going to be a pain in the butt to have to paint. And then he's got the two-part, ton of micro supports, but that's common. And then we got the upper half, tons of micro supports between. His face is so little. Why is his face so small? I don't understand. You have this big boy and he itty bitty face. What is he, a Goomba from Super Mario Brothers? No, it's fine. His backpack looks cool. He's got all the smokestacks going on. He's got the flowy bits. I'm probably going to keep him in 2 parts to paint him and sub-assemble this just because it'll be easier to get to this fabric that way. He's got the little scythe things. I fully foresee these breaking off if he drops or anything like that, and that's going to be a pain. Versus like these cloth bits, these are so thick I don't think that would happen. Same thing with these. These are thick enough, but these are very thin, and I could see these snapping from a fall. Until that happens, though, which hopefully it doesn't, we won't know. So knock on wood. We'll pray that Mr. Decethus never falls. So how hard are you, or how easy are you to assemble, my guy? We're assuming that this is the front. It looks very frontish. This could be the front. Oh yeah, that's totally the front. See, I have a problem of finding out which way's the front. And that's an easy, just right there. And then ink glues. No issues. So, big boy, small little Goomba head from the Super Mario Brothers movie, but overall, love this model. Love his gameplay, love how he plays, love his strategy. Decethus is one of my favorite casters. So if you pick up the command box, you get Nicane. If you pick up the core box, you get Cespia. If you pick up the Aux box, you get Decethus. And I always forget this guy's name, but you get the other one in the Battle Group box set, and they're all pretty good. I think we're going to be getting the Apotheosis next, and then at some point we're going to get a Cadre. And then only God knows from there. So it is what it is. On that note, though, that is the last thing I have that I've recorded for this. I don't know what order I'm going to release them in. I'll probably do this one last just to be safe. Seems though I might have to put in a ticket for that Harvester. I still need to check the other one, but we'll see. And I don't expect it to be a bad experience. They're always great when it comes to getting replacements done. But that's it. We've seen it all. We've opened all of Cryx, and now by the end of this year, I'm hoping to get it all painted. I still have to finish my commission for my friend Storm Legion, but after that, it's going to be Cryx, 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 Cryx. Every now and then, I might take a break and work on some Shadow Flame Shard because that's the second army I picked up. And being that it is March, I have pre-ordered Shadows and Scum. I did that through an alternative site just because it was a really good deal. And we will probably be unboxing that at some point. And I might pivot to working on that because I want to do a 3-parts thing. Hopefully I can do this. A 3-part thing. Part 1 being unboxing, part 2 being assembly and painting, and part 3 being a battle report with just the contents of that box. But we'll see, because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of minis to paint, but we'll do our best. All right. On that note, I am going to call it there. Yeah. If you have anything that you want to see from anything that I've talked about, let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you have a good use for Bruthalls that I'm not seeing, because sometimes an outside perspective helps you see something that you didn't see before. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.